if we don't have to hit every point, but I can start with myself. I know that before getting into the podcast, and I don't know if we said that on episode 1, the reason why we were doing the podcast, but I know separately, like as a group, um, we made that agreement that if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this with God, us doing it for God, and we're only gonna continue doing this if our faith is still strong within God throughout the process, and um if we don't feel like we're just doing it if we don't feel like we're just getting in our word just for the video, like we're actually in our word, and what we get out of our word, we could put it in the episode. And I was reflecting, on myself, and I was like, bro, I'm not doing that right now. I felt like I was, just reading just to get content, or reading so we could have something to say. And you're good. I wasn't really even in my word like that. If I had to say, yo, Jacob, when were you in your word outside of doing it for the podcast? I wasn't in it.
Exactly. That's the same thing for me too.
And that was a problem. Yeah. Because we weren't agreeing on we weren't doing it for the reason why we said we were gonna do it for. And on top of that, I didn't feel like I was being the best example off cameras. And I think that's very important, that at least for me, I know that we're still going to sin. I know that we're not going to be perfect. But at the end of the day, that doesn't give us a license to not try our hardest to be perfect. And I was struggling alone. And I feel like at a certain point in your journey with Christ, like, there's no reason why you should be still struggling with those same baby problems. Whether it's watching pornography, whether it's listening to secular music, or swearing, cussing, all that stuff. Like, at some point, it gotta give. Like, that's something that gotta be let go.